Everybody, hey, welcome. How are you? Welcome to Live in Conversation with Peter Clarke. I'm Peter Clarke. This is The Conversation. How are you today? I'm super pumped for you to be here. Thank you so much for joining us wherever you are in the world. I think we got an international group of people here today, so I think this is going to be a fun day. So wherever you're tuning in from, thank you so much for being here. And let us know in the comments where you're tuning in from, where you're watching. It's going to be a great conversation. There's so much to cover. So if I speak a little fast, you'll know why, because we don't want to waste someone's day. There's a person over here who has a very big day. So we have to make sure that we give all of the time back to this beautiful soul. Thanks so much for showing up, everybody. I appreciate it. If you like what you see, please share it with your network and make sure you let people know that we have great conversations here on Red TV, like these two beautiful souls and the logo behind me. You see that, Asili? We're going to talk about that today as well. So there's so much going on in the world, and sometimes we feel a little bit overwhelmed, but today you're going to feel inspired. That's what you're going to feel today. So please let me know where you're tuning in from. Hey, Melody's here already. Look at that, from Massachusetts. Good to see you. I really appreciate you being here. Oh, I know this guy. Chris Lomas. How are you, buddy? From South Africa. Good to see you. We're going to be speaking about that part of the world, generally speaking. It's a very, very big continent. So I don't want people to think I don't know. I do know how big it is. And so there you go. And yes, huge love to Aude, because, hey, very big day for this young lady. So this is fantastic. Oh, Todd Hirsch, appreciate it, from Calgary, Alberta. So this is great. The reason why I'm doing this, I want to make sure we feel very connected internationally. South Africa, Boston. We're here in Calgary, Alberta. Here's Ontario, Canada. EPEC, good to see you. Thank you so much for tuning in. We so appreciate that. You guys are awesome. I just love it. It's and I know the two people that are joining me today are going to be very, very grateful for that. Okay, so we're going to make sure we put your comments in as we go along. If you have some questions for our two beautiful people, please make sure you put that in the comments as well. Let's get right to it, everybody. There's so much to cover. So I'm excited for this conversation for so many different reasons. Anyone who knows me personally and in the sense of what I've done in the past, I've been to sort of this part of the world we're going to be talking about, certainly not under the same context, but similar in a different way. So I have a real, I just have a real spot in my heart for that part of the world. And, you know, again, as I was saying earlier, sometimes it feels like the world's filled with so much noise and division and uncertainty. There's great people out there doing quiet things. They're out there doing great things with their lives, building hope and dignity and lasting change for people. That's literally what they're doing. And our two guests are doing exactly that. And they're doing that in the most unbelievable place. Just a beautiful country. I mean, this is a beautiful country, everybody. The Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC, and Asili. That's the organization we're going to be talking about. And they're rethinking everything about sustainable humanitarian work. That's exactly what they're doing. They're finding ways that work. This is business, not charity, and it works hand in hand with each other, which is a fascinating concept in itself. I love that. So they're delivering aid, but not in the traditional way that you might think. You know, through clean water systems and healthcare clinics and local employment, things like that. They're building a stronger and healthier community where they set up their shop, and it's fantastic what they're doing. And what I love the most about, and you'll feel this today, that it's all about dignity and trust and long-term thinking. It really is this is not a band-aid. This is the real deal. So we have today joining with us just two beautiful souls, from Asili, and they're going to introduce themselves and talk to you a little bit about what they do exactly for the DRC and in the DRC. We're going to be talking about humanitarian work and leadership and resilience and what it takes to actually make things happen directly into these communities around the world. So maybe this is not directly in your backyard, but I promise you there's parallels that are running, and you'll find reasons and inspiration behind what they're doing. Maybe you can apply it in helping them. Maybe you can apply it in helping something in your own community. And I think that's sort of the messaging that we're going to get to today. So I cannot stand it anymore. We got to get on with this, Peter. Let's introduce these two beautiful souls. I will please everybody. Will you welcome to the stage Aude and Valéry from Asili. Good to see you guys. Make sure you take yourself off mute. Take yourself off mute. I told them to stay. There they are. Good to see you.
Oh, good to see you, Peter. Thank you so much for having us.
Oh, absolutely. Valéry, good to see you all the way. Where are you tuning in?
Good to see you.
Yeah, where are you tuning in from? Tell everybody.
Good to see you, Peter. Hello, everyone. This is a big day, and I'm here, really, really happy. It's gonna be a very different day. It's May 26th, and very soon we're gonna talk about the day.
That's right. We are so. So thanks to both of you guys. I so appreciate you coming on, and different times around the world, which is fantastic. We have people in South Africa. We have people in the DRC. We have people in the States and Canada. Again, it's an international conversation, an international community. So I want to thank everyone for tuning in. So right away, Aude, I got to get it out of the way. Happy birthday. It's such a big day for you. 50 years young. Look at you. Come on.
Thank you.
Come on.
Yes, the big 50.
Big 50. And remember what I was doing on my 50th. Do you remember?
Yes, we were together in Dublin, Ireland.
We were.
It was amazing.
Wasn't that fun? That was fun. I must say, I really enjoyed the fact that we were able to connect and spend some time. And thank you for that opportunity. When I was traveling around, you were over there and you took time out of your time as well. So I appreciate that. We have so many people tuning in and sending us messages and stuff. I'll get those up and running. And I think what I really I want to do before we get going, just to put things into context, I'm going to put up a little video for everybody, just 90 seconds. It's a really small little video. And I think what it will do is we'll set the stage for some of the conversation that we're going to have right this second. So this will give you some context, a little bit about the organization and just some of the visuals of the work that they do. And I think that makes a huge world of difference when we're trying to understand the context of some of the things we'll be saying. So let's have a quick peek at this video, and I'll be back with these two beautiful souls.
Before you come to Congo, most times the things that you hear, the description that you get about Congo does not give a true picture of what Congo is. Asili offers a set of services in water. We have been blessed by the topography, but also by the generosity of people who allowed us to use their land to bury a pipeline that is going to be there for years, for many years to come. And we do distribution in what we call water kiosks and water taps, and this run on a day-to-day basis. What is important with this is that there is a contribution from the community. They pay for the services. Asili also offers services in health. We do primary health care. We do them in static clinics, and so patients come in and get checked. We make it a very family-friendly. This was based on the conversations with our community. And we've done all of this with the principle that there is not a single thing that we will ever build in Congo that we ourselves cannot use. We are in a very, very exciting moment in Asili. We have tried out our ideas along with the energy and goodwill of the Congolese people. We built 4 zones. Now we are in the space of finding 6 zones that we can build to reach us to 10. So we are very excited for the opportunity that Asili has created, and this is the excitement that we want to continue. And the Congolese people, they are fun to be around. That's what makes it possible.
Oh, come on. I mean, how good is that? How good is that? You know, so many memories come back to me when I see these images. They're so very similar to my experience of being in Rwanda. I want to ask. I want to start with you, Valéry. Valéry, when you see those pictures and those images, what comes to mind? What comes to mind first thing when you're speaking to someone like me who might have seen these for the very first time? What comes to mind for you?
It's a very good thing to just see these images. Sometimes I can't realize how strong they are when I'm seeing them on the screen here, right? So the first thing coming to my mind is like there is something which is needed somewhere, and there's some community are in lack of some of the services, and then we can see those services happening in those communities by people putting their hands together, their efforts together to ensure that the water can come from a point, and a person can just open the tap and get the water. I just saw the young boy who was opening the tap wearing a Superman, t-shirts. I feel like it's a group of super person, putting their efforts together to allow the communities to be able to see those things happening. The beauty of those things, the joy, the dances, but also the future, because those images, some of them are the system was built in 2016, but they're still operating today, which is showing like in the next 50 years, we will still be there seeing those communities receiving water. It's like responding to a long-term needs with a long-term response.
I love it. And Aude, I'm going to guess that you've been there multiple times. I'm going to guess so many memories flood back to you. What are some of those images mean to you? I'm just curious of what you see when you see those images.
Oh gosh. Yes, I've been to Eastern Congo 6 times in the last 4 years, except in 2025 due to the conflict. And every time, I discover new things, but you can't help but falling in love with the people you meet, with the community, and how well you're received, welcoming, and the resilience that you see every day, the entrepreneurship, spirit always. And I just love visiting the facilities every time I go and meeting new people and connecting with our partners. So it's a beautiful place in the world. There's so much potential from there. So it's we've taken donors trips, to visit, and it was amazing to all be together and show them the work that we do.
I love it. I know it brings up so many memories for you, and I'm putting that right up for you. Big happy birthday to you. And I was inspired by your post about your birthday. So today is actually your birthday. I just love that. And I love the post that you put up, and you really wanted to, you knew it was a milestone for you, and you knew you wanted to celebrate and mention it maybe to, friends and family, but you really did want to pour it behind the people. Talk to me about, or talk to everybody here about why that was important to you to connect that dot, and what kind of impact you're hoping that this conversation will have. Let's start with why it was so important for you to put a little less light on you and more on the people that you love and support.
Yes. So many of you know I'm from the south of France. I moved to the US, so I'm an immigrant to the US, and then now I work in East Africa. But every year I try to raise awareness about a cause close to my heart, to my friends and family. But this year it's different, because 50 is usually, for me at least, it's getting me closer to my mortality, my health. You had a conversation with Elaine Glencoe a couple of weeks ago that was so important to me, and really opening my eyes on so many things. And also you think about your legacy when you get to a certain age. I am in the best place possible in my life right now. I'm doing exactly what I've been dreaming of doing. Being in a support role to an amazing organization, social enterprise, and working for Valéry as well. But I think for me, that birthday cause that I wanted to do, instead of doing a different cause, I wanted to shine a light on my coworkers. We are 135 employees, 2 of us in the US, mainly raising visibility and fundraising. And we have 90 women. And these women, they get up in the morning and they go open the water taps for the community to come and fetch water, right? They go to the clinics to help women giving birth, prenatal care, and the children. So it was important for me to shine a light on them because last year was incredibly difficult for Asili. Especially because the conflict moved from North Kivu to South Kivu and really affected our operations and for the safety of our employees, right? So for me, it was just honoring them, my sisters, because I adore them. And of course, I can't tell you enough about the men that work with us, how incredibly supportive they are to us as well. But I just wanted to honor these amazing Asili women.
Well, you're doing that very well, and you've explained it very well. That again, you feel a connection to other human beings, and that's what I hope people get from this: is that we're not talking about borders, we're not talking about where you were born and raised, or where you live now, or it's just you are truly an international spirit. So, which means that we can all find our place by helping each other. Valéry, I know you're super feeling great about having Aude on the team, so maybe we'll talk about that. But let's just jump into talking about what Asili is all about. And I think I want people to understand some of the things that really resonate with me. And I think this will resonate with everybody else, is that this is not charity or philanthropy the way some people might be thinking about it. Asili talks about, for example, reinventing humanitarian aid, startup capital, self-sustaining systems. These are very important terms and words and stuff. Can you explain a little bit, just generally speaking, and we're going to go to your website, and I'm going to make sure people see there's so much great information at the website to explain it. But talk to us a little bit about exactly the model itself. Why is Asili different? What makes this conversation unique?
Oh, that's great. I thought Aude would start as it's her day, but I'm gonna talk about that, and then I will put all the lights on Aude's and Asili as well. So maybe I can start with I saw a question on the chat. The question was, what's the meaning of Asili? I think that's a great start, and I want to start from there. At the beginning, Asili was created by women in the DRC. So there was an international organization we work with, which is called Allied today. So that time it was a humanitarian program. At that time it was called American Refugee Committee. So we were doing a lot of humanitarian program, but we were also thinking about when people are coming back to their original places, there were still problems, they still find them. So we wanted to talk to those people. I mean, we wanted to talk to Mama, the Congolese women, and ask them, what are the real problems you are facing when you are back in your original place after the war? And that time it was a little bit calm in the region. And they talked about water and healthcare. So it was very hard for them to have water because in the camp, they could get water from the facility in the camp. But when they comes back to their homes, it became a problem or a challenge. Mm-hmm. So they talked about water, healthcare, but also agriculture as a program for livelihood, right? So the name of Asili, it's a Swahili name. It means dignity. It means secret. It means our own secrets. Meaning those mamas said, we want this to become like our dignity, our secrets. And they gave the name of Asili. Even the colors, they are the mama of South Kivu who choose the colors. And they wanted the star, as you can see here, the pin, right? It's a star with so many colors around, meaning so everyone is welcome. Many services are possible, including healthcare, water, livelihood, but also agriculture. And it also means what we can support with our efforts. As you know, it was very hard to start. So we wanted this conversation start with different organizations, which is IDO, RSP, to design the water system, to design the clinics. So we put all those people together to create a capital for investment, to have the first facility, and then to take the community to ensure that the services will continue by paying for those services. And the payment will be collected to ensure operations. As the capital will already be put in place, we have the gravity system. So we take water from the mountains. So we pipe the water to the reservoir for treatment, and then we go to the distribution. You saw the water points where the community can then get water. So they pay for services, and we collect that to ensure the operations. And then from there, same thing for healthcare. We create a value chain for medicines, doctors, everyone involved in that supply chain understand the model. So we take care of the 3 C's. I'm going to share that quickly. So there is 3 C's of Asili. The first is community. Everything we do is for the community because it's a community who created Asili. Even when the grant is over, the community will continue to support the operations by the contribution, which is the payment. And we don't treat them as beneficiaries, we treat them as customers. So they have the right to say, today we didn't have the right water, right? That never happened, right? But they have the right to say, we didn't see the mama coming to the water point at 6 in the morning, or we saw the mama close the water point earlier than the time it was supposed to be closed. So they are customers, and we treat them as a customer with all the right that they have as a customer. It's like when you buy Coca-Cola. I'm sorry to talk about Coca-Cola, but if you doesn't like the drinks, you can say, no, I'm not going to take it. Differently when you are in a camp, in the refugee camp, where you don't have choice, right? So the second C is clarity. So everything we do, we ensure that we explain from the beginning to the end. There is no end, right? But up to when we are talking. So if it's a service, we need to be clear. What is the cost? Why is this costing this amount? And what's the meaning of that cost? So everyone understands clearly what does it mean. We post the prices on the wall. We explain, we do a community engagement. If anyone has any question, where the water is coming from, how do you treat the water? How do you recruit the nurses? Where the medicine is coming from? So they have the right to understand without discrimination. Everyone can ask any question. And the last C is consistency. I love that one because everything we do the same for every communities. And the water we are distributing into the community is the same water I'm drinking at home, right? So the quality is the same. So when I go to the tap, I can drink the same water that we're distributing in the community. My kids drink the same water. My mother was drinking the same water. So we ensure that we have this consistency. If you visit an Asili clinic once in a region, if you go to the other region where there is a Asili clinic, it's the same design, the same process, and it's the same understanding of the how we treat the community. So I think there is a lot to share. I'm gonna pause there and see if there is any other thing we can add.
This is why we're here, and you never apologize for giving more information and sharing, and because I can hear it that again the passion is there for what you love to do, and I really appreciate that. Aude, I want to ask you about this local feel, the feeling that it really has everybody involved as they participate by working the facilities, and they also participate by as being a customer, just like Valéry just said. Why is being local important to this concept? Why is it important to find sustainable solutions? Why is being local the real spotlight here, in your opinion?
Yes, the local is long term. And I think it's important to recognize that, I do want to mention, we all have a cell phone, right? And we wouldn't have a cell phone or electronics if it wasn't for Eastern Congo. That's where you get all the minerals. So it's very important to find the local solutions. And usually they just don't have the resources. And I think it shows the resilience, but also the entrepreneurship, but also the long-term sustainability. And you want every economy in every country to do well. So that's why, for me, working for a Congolese organization under Congolese leadership is so important to me, because I think that's the future. And I think our friend Chris Lomas can speak to that as well. He's very much involved with that. So I think, and you want to recognize the smart, brilliant Congolese people who are working, through our system or other systems as well.
I love it. I listen. I couldn't agree with you more. And I think what's interesting is that we do talk about those things when we're talking about our own backyard. Do you ever notice that? I'll just speak for myself when we talk about in Canada or in the United States. But I'll speak in Canada. We always refer to, it's really important for us to do it. And for some reason, when we take it somewhere else, we think they're not supposed to participate somehow, some way. But you guys keep talking about dignity, and this is the word I love the most. I really do. I love this idea of that you want to make sure that everybody has a sense of dignity. I want you just to kind of expand a little bit on the approach about the membership and pay as you go. Can you talk about that just a little bit so that people understand that, again, just as Valéry said, there's customers involved, there's people doing transactions, there's business being done, and yet at the same time, people are being serviced in a healthy and sustainable way, clean water, access to clinics, these kinds of things. Talk about that approach of the membership and the pay-as-you-go model, if you will.
Yes, for the membership, they can get... Actually, Valéry, would you want to take that one? It's really amazing when he talks about it.
Valéry, you're on again, buddy. You're on again. I know it's Aude's birthday, so let's give her a rest. Let's give her a rest.
Yeah, time for her to drink a glass of water. Yeah, so we create that model of membership because we know that in the community, people cannot have cash all the time. They can hold cash all the time because revenue is coming like in the end of the month. But during the month, you need some services. So we ensure that the membership is paid at the beginning of the month. So you have access to the services all the way at the end of the month. And that is covering healthcare. It's covering also water services. And from there, you also have some discount for the medicines because the medicines are coming from outside. But as you already pay for the membership, you have that discount for the membership. And everything is on the whole. You can see it if you enter in the Asili clinic. And then if you don't have like the membership paid, it may happen. You can just come to the water points. We call them non-member, which are daily customers. You can come to the clinic, you can come to the water point, and you pay for the service for the day. And then if you want to come tomorrow, you can do the same. The membership is important because the community understands that they are linked to the services the entire month. And no one can say, okay, I didn't have access to services because I don't have cash today. And as you know, sometimes the revenue, also the fluctuation, during the month can happen. But if you already subscribe your membership, you can still continue accessing to the services. We also created a database for the membership. So if you are a member, the members know each other. I like they have even created their own group WhatsApp. It's really amazing. And they brought us in the group WhatsApp and say, you come here because we want to talk to some of you. So some of our managers are in those membership group WhatsApp. And they get some information like, we want this. Can you do this better? Can you change this way of doing things? And we love that because it's involved innovation, and Asili is really focused on innovation. We started with like the meter at the water points. Those meter was like just the water is going through, and then the meter is doing calculation. So now we are going in a space where we are doing electronic meters. So with those electronic meters, help that if you don't have water and it's the end of the month, you can purchase actually with your mobile phone from your home. It's like 10 in the evening. You can just use your phone and get your water. So it's how we also continue consistency in the services, right? So anytime you can have access to the services by the membership, by also the pay as you go for the services. I'm just to add one quick things about energy. We have piloted the energy system. So we have one location which is called Mudaka. I want our audience to hear some of the words, like the locations. You're right. So Mudaka is one of our area of operations where we have a clinic, we have water services, and we have a clean energy pilot, right? So we brought solar panels and batteries. We have them. They are running the clinics, but also the community. They can purchase electricity from that system. That also, we call it Asili Mwangaza, which is Asili lights, right? So we have some houses connected already to the grid, and they have Asili water in their houses. They have Asili lights in the houses. And when it's happened, when they are sick, they go to Asili clinic. That's how we are seeing the future of Asili. When we have like 10 location with that model already in place, that can also show how we contribute to the development. Some of the Earth area, there is no electricity, there is no lights. Some people go to the markets in the evening because they do farmer activities in the day. In the afternoon, they go in the markets. But they cannot sell like more than 3 hours because it's getting dark. So with Asili Mwangaza, we have put lights in the markets so that they can sell until like 8 in the night. It increased their capacity of sales and also capacity of getting revenue. And then the same revenue they are collecting, they use that revenue to pay their Asili services. So it becomes like an ecosystem. Even for the water system, we saw that around the Asili clinics, Asili water points, some of the community creates small businesses. They do small drinks. They take Asili water, which is already clean water. So they mix with bananas and they create a local drink and they start selling those. It creates an ecosystem of business around. Some of the restaurants, they buy Asili water and they sell in their restaurant to the clients. So those are kind of things. I was talking about membership. Now I'm talking about the business created around the city.
Oh, it's all intertwined. It's all connected. And I want you to keep. This is the point. The point is that there's no one thing we're talking about here. We're talking about this system, this communal system, this ability for everything to feel connected, and they don't stand in silos apart from each other. They all matter, and how they contribute to the economy. So no, never apologize.
Absolutely.
To connect for us. It's all good. It's all good.
Absolutely. Yeah, I love to talk about that because it's something I can see. I saw the growth of Asili since 2012, and I saw how the community around Asili. This is just sharing, right? So before we started in those communities like Mudaka, on Sunday, we were seeing some kids moving around with dirty clothes, right? And we were asking them, why are you wearing dirty clothes? And they say, we don't have water to wash them. But if you go in Mudaka these days on Sunday, you will see their clothes washed. Even they take time to wash themselves. And some of the business, there is the potatoes. So there is potatoes, they are on the ground. So when they harvest them, they come out with some muds with them. In the past, they were using to sell them with muds. But now the community are taking Asili water, they wash them, they become beautiful. So when they put them on the table for selling, you see those potatoes become very beautiful and you can buy them. Actually, it increased some of the percentage of the pricing, and it helps to present a beautiful table of potatoes sold in the community. I think just sharing this story, I think sometimes things are possible, but the community cannot see it until a group of people take time to think like the water source exists, the community is living here. How can we link then the community with the resources? As Aude said, there is a lot of resources in Congo. So it's like, how can we become the link between those those two things, the resources and the community. And that's the magic things. The first point is to link them, but the great thing is to make sure that the link stays for long and has the right and the good quality for the community.
Oh, see, this is why he's the CEO, I'm thinking.
This is why. This is why I wanted to make sure he was here with us.
Oh no, listen, I appreciate that, Valéry. Like you said, I mean, I'll emphasize. I think it's so important for us to understand, or try to understand, even with our own community, how when we get involved with things that we're passionate about, they don't stand in a silo. That there's a reason why they trickle down, they connect. There's a domino effect in the community. There's a domino effect with dignity and being human and connection, and all those things show up in whether it's a restaurant buying some water, or whether it's, like you said, a young child or a young person having clean clothes, or whatever it is. It connects to make the community better. Aude, I want to jump to you for a second, if I can, because I think you have a really unique perspective. As I talked to you, or I mentioned before, very international in what you've done in the past, and where you grew up, where you went to school, all these kinds of things. As someone who's lived around the world, and so you work remotely in most cases, you're in the United States, and then you travel to the DRC. You're basically at the intersection, if you will. There's an intersection between the realities of what's happening on the ground in real time, which you watch through being connected like this with your people. And then, of course, you're in the outside world. So you're at the intersection of seeing what it's like to see it from afar while you know the details so close. So I'm wondering, what do you think people internationally, people like me, I'm in Canada, what do people like me most misunderstand about the work you're trying to do there? What is it that I might not be clear on that we can help somebody understand today?
Gosh, yes. Thank you. Usually when we talk about DRC, even when I started working I actually started as the executive assistant for Abraham Leno, who was on the video, right, for years. And he was one of the co-founders. And we used to talk about that all the time, that when you talk about the DRC, it is painted so violently on the news. And it's never talking about dignity or humanity. When our model is very human-centered. And so that's what it is. It's all about mothers, supporting each other. We are, right now, I just want to tell you a story. Last year, when the conflict started, we had to shut down everything, all the water points, all the clinics, because the conflict was moving into our areas, and to keep everyone safe, right? And we on the 11th day, we reopened one clinic, and that's where we do prenatal care. And 65 pregnant women showed up in one day because they trusted Asili. They trusted that it was locally led. And when we look at another country, we don't look enough at at what is really happening on the ground. We just see what's happening in the news, and the news will paint a really different picture. And so my role, in my role today, is supporting Valéry, is really raising the visibility, and also raising what capital we would need for very specific projects to increase that outreach and that ecosystem. So I hope it makes sense.
That makes complete sense. Again, you tied it back to the fact that being local makes a difference. That when there's things that happen in the local area that cause people to be disconnected, or like you said, with war or conflict or whatever it is, knowing that there's locals there that are taking care of the facilities and the infrastructure and those kinds of things really matters. And I think we misunderstand that. We think that sometimes, again, the idea is like, okay, we'll go in and we'll build a well. It's a very generic thing. We'll build a well and we all feel good. We have a celebration. The water comes out. We get the photo ops, all that stuff. And then 99% of the people and maybe even the IP behind it leaves. Versus what you talk about is, again, that local connection of having local nurses, local plumbers, the water mamas. I want you to explain what is a water mama. Tell me what a water mama is, because we need to shout out the water mamas. What is a water mama? Who are those beautiful people?
The water mamas are the women opening the water points in the morning and managing all day long, with the customers, making sure, everything is working correctly. We have also women plumbers. We have plumbers, engineers. There's a whole array of talent behind making this sustainable and this system of water points working. So it's incredible. But the water mamas, they are the first face that you see when you get to a water point, and the smiles that you never forget.
Absolutely. Listen, don't relate to that, because again, I've been sort of to that part of the world. I've been to Rwanda. When I keep saying that part of the world, I'm going to, what we're going to do, because I think, again, part of this, sometimes when we get on these kinds of conversations, I'm always trying to figure out, okay, how do we make sure that we get people to understand where we are, what we're talking about. And so bear with me for a second here, because I think, I know, Valéry, you'll get a kick out of this right now. You're going to get a kick out of this. Let's see if I can do what I really wanted to do at the beginning here. So let me just see if I can do this at the beginning here. And I wanted to, because it's fascinating that we're having this conversation in real time. This is what I love. I love about technology. One of the things with technology, obviously we can argue about the good and bad of it, but this is the good stuff. This is where, people can connect around the world and have these conversations in real time. And I just love that stuff. I really, really do. So I'm going to try right now. Let me just see if I'm going to see if I can bring up something so that we can have a little fun here together, because I'm saying I got to describe or try to figure out how to put the context of where we are, what we're doing. There we are. Look at that beautiful little place we live in. Right? This is where we live. So let's go in for a little look around. Before we go over to this part of the world, let's go over here. Let's go over here where we are. So this is so here's Canada in general. So I'm way over here. I don't know, Valéry, if you ever been to this part of Canada, but look, I'm in Calgary, Alberta. So I'm way over here, just at the foothills of the Rocky Mountains, basically in Canada. Okay, so if you pull out a little bit from there, you can see where I am in I guess, comparison to, let's see where Aude is. Aude is over here in the Chicago. We're generally around the Chicago. Where are we, Aude? Where are you?
Oh, yeah, 2 hours northwest of Chicago.
Okay, so where are you? It's like, give me a little town so I can see where you are.
Rockford.
Oh, there, I just saw it. There it is,
Yep.
Rockford. There you are. I gotcha. How cool is that? Next time, just for security purposes, we won't zoom in on your house. Which we can, by the way, because I did on my house. I was like, okay, I'm not going to zoom in on my house. All right. So, and now let's go and see, look, as we see this, look how far we are. It's just incredible. Now let's go over and see if we can zoom in a little bit to where our really good friend Valéry is. And I think it helps in context of the conversation, because we forget, where some of these places are. And if you look how big the DRC is, I mean, it's an incredibly large country. And again, this idea of when something happens in the DRC, it's like if I said something happened in the United States, I mean, something might happen in New York that has nothing to do with Chicago or Los Angeles. So the same thing with the DRC. So I'm going to kind of zoom in a little bit where you are, Valéry, and there's Rwanda. So I've been there, which is unbelievable. And you are, I think I'm zooming in on the right area.
Yeah.
Am I not? Right here at the bottom of Lake Kivu. Is that correct, Valéry? Am I getting close to where?
Yes, Bukavu.
Bukavu. There you go. And how do you say that? Do you say Bukavu or Bukavu?
It depends on if you are thirsty, you should say Bukavu. But if you have a glass of drink, you say Bukavu. Yeah, but it's easy to read.
But I think it's so important to kind of understand that, because of course I know that you've put out talk about, of just what you said. I want to tie it to what you just said, Aude, about the headlines. We live in headlines, especially in North America, especially on social media. The idea that, okay, so now I know I watched the news last night just to see, and of course they're talking about the Ebola update and things like that. Now I know that that's not something you need to address, but generally you did. You guys put out a little bit of information and so on. But when we're talking about those areas are much farther north, if I'm not mistaken. So, which means that, again, when something happens in California, it doesn't mean it happens in Maine, and when something happens in the south of France, it doesn't happen necessarily in London, England. So, very similar to what we're happening here. So. And again, being so close to Rwanda and Lake Kivu, I just wanted to show people where that was in connection with the conversation we're talking about. And again, that area has been, in conflict for a long, long time. And this is why what you bring to that world is so important. So I just wanted to share that. That's all I wanted to do. I just want to let everyone know that, hey, there's it's a small world. When you see it that way, it's pretty cool, right? Oh, yeah.
Yes, we are a very small world and all interconnected. Yes. And, going back to Ebola, we do have to address it. We are taking all precautionary measures for the staff and for our friends and the community. So it's hand washing station and hand sanitizer at the clinics, at the office, just checking everybody's temperature. We want to make sure everybody's safe, but also continuing to have access to the clean water and the healthcare system.
Absolutely. I think that, again, I mentioned because we're living through that, and I know it's going to eat up a lot of people's minds in the saying, okay, if I get involved with these kinds of organizations, there's a lot of things that happen that they don't control. But that's with all, no matter what your business model is. I mean, hey, let's face it, the world right now there's lots of things happening that we can't control. What we can control is, like you said, how do we understand the headline? How do we get behind that headline and make a difference to that? I really want to go back to more of the philosophy part of it, Valéry, and just the idea of, by and for the communities it serves. I think that's a really powerful way that you phrase that in your presentation. And I'm going to bring up your presentation in a second so people can kind of just glance at some of the things that we've talked about. But when you come up with this model and you present it and it's functioning and it's doing what it's supposed to do right now, I'm wondering, what have you learned, Valéry? I mean, you know that area very well. You know the people very well. After you have exercised this model, what have you learned about human behavior and ownership and sustainability? What have you learned that it builds in people? Because I think that's a really important message, that when we feel like we're part of something and we have ownership, we take care of it. It's like when you rent something versus when you own something. So what have you learned through this process about how people approach this model because of the ownership and the sustainability model?
Well, that's so nice. I love stories, first of all, and I'm gonna start by a story. So when we were kids, around beginning of 80s, there was an organization who was in charge of providing water. But all the time when they were coming to our house to collect cash for the services, we were chasing them. We were kids and we were chasing them around the roads. And I learned with Asili that time we were doing that because there was no services. So they were coming to collect the funds while the service was not there. We could have like 2 weeks. We opened the tap, but there is no water. But then at the end of the month, they come and say, you need to pay. So how could we pay for a service that doesn't really exist? But with this model, I learned that the community understand very well what we do and how we do it. And they respond according to how we serve the community. So if the water is there, the water is clean, the community will pay. And that's one of the first things I learned with the community. The community learn how you treat them. It's like when you're just going around and you find out like the services are not equal to the amount of the money they are paying, right? So they will not pay. So we need all the time to meet the needs of the community, to meet the expectation of the community. And that's one of the things we can't sleep if there is no water coming to the tap, because tomorrow we can't say, we want you to pay for the services we didn't receive. Same thing for healthcare. So we monitor all those things day to day to understand that the community is having the services according to the expectation that they are having. The other thing I learned, this is just a personal level, we saw a lot of people leaving the rural area and coming to the cities. So we call it rural exile. And that's just because they can't find those services where they live. So I learned, if we provide the services that the community need where they are, they will stay, right? So why we didn't add the energy, the solar energy? Because they couldn't find electricity in the original space. So if they found them, they could do that. And actually, if they stay in the rural area, in town, they will be able to continue farmers' activities and sell their products in town. And in the evening, they comes back to the community. So we are kind of saving those two places. If everyone is in town, no one will do agricultural activities, and we will not have like vegetables. I love vegetables, actually. So there is a vegetable called lenga. It's just the leaves. You know, they sell them very cheap. They're very, very tasty. So when you come to the DRC, that will be the meal. You don't need to miss that one. Lenga. So those are kind of things I learned, and I really love that. And see how Congolese people, let me say that way, Congolese people can run an organization like Asili, the way I'm saying that. So we have the support of our friends in the US, but we can see the efforts done by Congolese people. Every plumbers, they work in the morning, go to the facility, see there is breakdown, they fix the breakdown. And until the breakdown is not fixed, they will not leave the place. So they leave the place when the problem is solved. So solutions are there, right? People are there, resources are there. The thing is, how can we connect them? And that's why I'm saying connection is one of the important things in the world. If things are not connected, we cannot move forward. I can take an example here. So there is Aude and Valéry somewhere, and there was all our audience somewhere, but we needed Peter Clarke, right, with Red TV to connect all those people, and this magic can happen. I don't know how people are feeling right now, but to be honest, I'm very happy with this conversation. I will have like tons and tons of this kind of conversation and feel connected to the world.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, you are super welcome to be here, and I feel connected to you guys as well. And we are having an international conversation. There's so much actually going on in behind the scenes, and I want to let everyone know, please keep adding to the conversation, keep adding things in here, because we're going to go and look through every one of these conversations. One of them, again, I'll put some up for you right now, Valéry, so you can see that, you know, again, we feel sometimes that we're on our own, and until you see some of the feedback, you're like, I'm not sure, but there you go. We're talking about water mamas. I know I know EPAC was saying she loved the water mamas conversation. We have someone tuning in from Florida. Christy, thank you so much for tuning in from Florida. You know, I know we have Marcello. Marcello's here somewhere. He's over in the Atlanta area, so I'm trying to find. There he is. He's here. Where is Marcello? Here he is. Marcello, good to see you, my friend. So, you know, Valéry, there's all kinds of different people connecting that are learning a little bit more about, you know, who you guys are, what you do. And again, even if we inspire people that have things that they are working on, very much like Chris Lomas. I mean, if Chris Lomas is working on something else, I think it's super important that, you know, we share these ideas. So I agree with you 100%. And thank you for those kind comments. it takes all of us to kind of bring this together. Aude, I mean, we're holding you up on your birthday. I hope you're hanging in there okay. You're doing okay with it being your birthday. Yes?
Oh, yes. I love it. Thank you.
For anyone who tuned in late, I just want to make sure this is her 50th birthday. No, I wouldn't have said that out loud, but she already announced it, so I don't feel bad for saying that. But so I'm so, and of course your original post about celebrating your 50th birthday this way just even makes it more meaningful for me. I can tell you that right now. One thing I wanted to ask you, Aude, specifically is about, and I know, Valéry, you're going to really want to talk about this too, but I know, Aude, I want you to get your perspective of it. Is one of the thing in the Asili presentation that you sent me as some research and things that I could look at, is that Asili never represents the Congolese people as helpless victims. I love that. They're not helpless victims in this conversation. And the presentation feels very empowering and hopeful and proud. Why is it important, do you think, that we tell the story that way? Why is it important that we say we're not just trying, or we're not just going somewhere and pretending we're the superhero. We're going in and really working with people and just being part of the solution. Why is it important that we talk like that about empowerment and hopeful and pride, these kinds of things?
Why shouldn't we do it this way? Every time you talk about the world and what's happening in the world, anywhere in the world, why not elevate voices? Sometimes they just need a platform, but they're not helpless. You've seen in DRC, there are a lot of resources within the Eastern DRC. Sometimes you just need to put in place systems, but they are very well capable to do all of this and more. And I think it's testament to their brilliance. So I think it's important to always recognize that we're not above anybody else. And everybody has their own talent, and it's important to actually elevate this. I was talking to an amazing person 2 weeks ago. He's a strategist for Africa, and he was saying, wait a minute, so you've built this entire system in the last 13 years where 60% of water systems will fail within 5 years. We are still here after 13 years, and it's working. And you've seen through Valéry's what he talked about, the ecosystem with energy. And there's innovation. We're trying to put in AI ultrasounds at our clinics. We're trying to be very innovative about the way we approach healthcare as well. And he was saying, wait, you're still there through the conflicts and all. Last year, we had a huge fire in our warehouse where we lost $150,000 worth of equipment for water piping and everything, but we're still standing. And that's really a testament. Even with the Ebola crisis, we'll still do the work. And that's really a testament. And when I say we, I feel like I'm part of, I'm part Congolese as well, in a way. So, and Valéry will tell you, everybody pitches in and is there for each other. And I have to say something. I lost my father 1.5 years ago, and my coworkers really carried me through that difficult moment. And I had, Valéry was calling me every day, and so many of them sent me the nicest messages and really caring for my mother, asking about my mother and how she was doing. So that really shows how we are all very close and really care for each other's future, but also for the next generations of Asili. And all the children that will come to our water point in 20, 30 years from now.
Oh, that's amazing. And I'm not surprised by that. I'm not surprised that Valéry and the team behind you would be very supportive of anything that you're experiencing personally, because as you say, you just feel you're part of that family. I mean, you're geographically not in the same location, but you certainly are together in spirit, and you gather like this a lot, which is really good. And we're going to do more of this. That's what we got to do. We just got to keep making sure that we get the word out and having conversation. Speaking of your team, I want to put them up right there. There's Gio. Gio's in the house. Gio's in the house right now, making sure that we connect everybody to the LinkedIn. Attaboy, Gio. There you go. He's making keeping me on my toes. Look, Instagram, we got to. So go to the Instagram. I love it. And going back to some of the comments, Melody says, definitely a bright view of what hope looks like. So I think that's amazing. I agree. It literally, you're defining what kind of hope looks like. And she also sends a very happy birthday to you. There you go. See?
Thank you, Melody.
People are thinking about you. There you go. And there's Chris right there. Couldn't agree more. Happy birthday. So I want to let you know, look, there's a lot of people here. And Lene, a good friend of mine here, Lene here in Western Canada, absolutely elevating voices in community is critical. And she lives in that world as well, in the sense of supporting charities and fundraising and those kinds of things. And I think, again, just our humanity shows up everywhere. There's EPEC talking about it now. Humans, we're everywhere. And yeah, right back at you, Gio. Don't worry, I got you, buddy. He's easy. He's behind the scenes here, making sure that we get those things up. Okay, it's been 1 hour, so I listen. It's your birthday, so I definitely want to keep on track here. If you don't mind, just for a couple seconds here, I'm going to, if I can, I'm going to see if I can bring up the actual slide. So I just want some people to kind of see some of the visuals, some of the things that we've talked about already, And again, feel free just to kind of mention anything right now along the way here. Again, I love the idea. Again, it's social enterprise. It's about lasting change, and again, dignity. This idea of dignity and resilience. I just love that. Here's some of the other goals and stats. Again, 1 in 13 children are don't make it past their 5th birthday. I mean, these are very powerful stats that talk about why water and health are such an important thing. And feel free just to mention anything along the way here, Aude and or Valéry, please. I just want to, again, I love the idea of it, startup capital for self-sustaining systems. And as you said, back in 2013, you started and you're still there. So 13 years later versus going in. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think people mean well when they go in and obviously create wells or maybe create a clinic. I think they mean well, but it's the long-term solution. If we don't have a long-term local solution, it really is, kind of like a Band-Aid. And I don't know if it services the way we want. We talked about this. I wanted to give a quick little shout out to that about the membership and pay as you go. Yes. So the services, there's a sustainability approach to this, which I absolutely love. And I think most of us can relate to that. I have a water bill. We all have water bills. We have health expenses and things like that. There, we're talking about the clean water. Some of the stats in there that are amazing. But again, total of 69 water. So is it still 69 water points? Do we have a different number now? Or is it about 69 water points?
We have 69 water points, 49 operational, because some are closed due to the conflict. It's too close to for safety for the staff. Right. But we have a big ambition this year to try to raise funds for 3 more water points. So there's always some capital needed for very specific projects as well.
Okay, that's really important to know, because I'm going to ask you in a little while. Again, I'll put up the website so people can see how they can reach out to you and do this. Healthcare, we talked about that. 5 medical clinics right now. Congolese doctors and nurses. Yes, these are the people that are running these clinics and so on. And they're right on the front line every single day. And this is what I admire so much. I admire so much that people show up every single day, even when they don't feel good. They just have a lot of hope and pride, and I love that. I've been putting along some of the stats along the bottom there. There's where I got them from, the 414 million liters of water, 5 clinics, 350,000 customers, if you will, and I love the fact, again, the dignity behind the idea that I'm a customer. I'm a customer of this and not necessarily, a recipient. I love the business, not charity. Radical quality, and then service with dignity. That keeps screaming to me. I don't know why, but I love when people treat others with dignity and grace and humanity. And just being kind. That's that's all you got to do. Really, is just kind of be kind out there. So it's not too hard to do that. And so I'll skip some of this right here. Just people can learn way more about all this on your website. I did want to get that in there. So there's the leadership team. Some of the leadership team. There's the LinkedIn page. You have a Vimeo page. So where that video we showed earlier, there's some more content on there that people can watch and learn about. Let's jump to that. I hope that makes a lot of sense for most people watching this right this very second. I hope that that's the case. So let's just kind of jump to wrap this up for you, because it's getting supper time, way past supper time for Valéry, and he probably has some piano practicing. I want to throw that out, make sure everyone knows you are an accomplished musician. And I noticed the first time we spoke, you noticed my piano back here, and right away, but you are an accomplished musician, and have you played for the president at one time? Did you do that?
Yeah, there was a meeting in Kinshasa, and I was invited. That time I was not already joined Asili, and they called me and say, "Can you play something for the president ceremony?" And I did it. I think it's one of my favorite time, playing piano. Most of the time when I'm back home, like tired or just want to spend time with myself, I just jump on my piano and play. I really, really love that. And if I was in your studio right now, I could even talk to you. I would just jump on the piano and start playing. And I play music coming from my brain, and that makes me like feel really good. And sometimes I invite friends at home, and we just spend some times playing and drinking coffee, things like that.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. You and I will get along famously one day when we actually meet, because I live in that world as well. Like my mind is always kind of thinking of music and melodies and lyrics and these kinds of things, and I hear it all the time. So I so relate to that. I think it's important that people understand that there's human beings behind these organizations. There's people that have families, and they love music, and they like theater, and they all of the artistic things that I think that we assume that because you're not in those situations all the time, that's not part of your life. Asili is a big part of your life, absolutely, but it's not who everything you are. And I think the same with you, Aude. I think that's really important to emphasize for people. Let me ask you both this question, because I think it's just something we can leave people with, and then I'll jump to the comments before I let you go. Just to let you know that, again, there's so many people supporting you, and I hope that this makes a difference. Just having this conversation today makes a difference. I want to know what you think about, as we reflect on all of the things we talked about. We could go into, like you said, Valéry, we could take any one of those subjects and run with them. I'm wondering, when we're watching people today, they're feeling inspired and they want to help. They want to advocate for you, maybe, or simply even just better understand, the people and the communities that you serve and all those kinds of things. What would you most want people to take away from this conversation that we're having right now? What is it that you want someone to walk away with and actually be actionable? Whether it's just learning more about it, reaching out to you, maybe reaching out to their community. What do you want them to walk away with, Valéry? I'll leave that with you.
Oh, thank you, Peter. And I think maybe I would start this way. I know that there is challenges everywhere, and most of the important thing is to see where can be resources to solve some challenges happening somewhere, right? So we are here in Bukavu. There is challenges, according to the location where we are, and we talked about the conflict. We talked about Ebola. So those are challenges. So those are challenges where we are, and somewhere there can be a solution to those problems that we have here. And those challenges create gaps in some of the operations we are doing. I think learning more about those challenges that we are facing, understanding them through some of these kind of conversation is really, really good and important. We need advices. Some of the people face those challenges we are facing here and say, hey, Valéry, you are facing these challenges, but I learned something somewhere in my career. Can you do things differently so that your vision of sustain your services can continue? We need to learn. We need to hear from people who did this somewhere else and see how we can adapt their experiences where they are. So those are kind of, I would say, takeaway is how can we overcome those challenges that we are facing, and we also want to learn, right? So things happening, you know, you saw the map of Canada. I know there is challenges in Canada, right? And
Yep.
if there is something we can share that we learned in our locations, we can share that. And we also want to learn. We also want to see how can we create a community that can also push this idea, push this vision, push Asili to move forward. I want to have another session like this in 15 years, right? I will be there, right? I'm sure I'll be there. I will be like older, but I will be there and talk about what we have been able to accomplish. We are talking about 69 water points today, but I want to talk about 100,000 water points, not only in the DRC, but all around the world, but with this model. How can we expand Asili to other regions? We saw the map. There was the Kivu Lake, right? And it's really hard to understand how can people not be in the lack of water where there is lake around, and we know in the desert people have water. So that is the result of the conflicts. When you are in a region where there's conflicts, so most of the time the government doesn't focus on those resources. They focus on how they can resolve the problem of the conflict. But people are still living, and they need those services. So we need people to say, okay, we can stand, we can stay there and provide those services until things become different and possible. So those are kind of, I know that I'm putting a lot of food on your plate for takeaway. It's now bigger. But this is,
hey, listen, it's a buffet. It's a buffet. It's a buffet.
I love that. I love that.
That's right. It's a buffet. Aude, I'll ask you the same thing. What are you hoping today? You used your birthday to shine a light on your organization that just says a lot about you and your character and who you are. And I knew that 10 years ago when we first met, and I still see it in you every single day. So I'm just so proud of you, but more importantly, I'm just honored that we're friends. But I'll leave that with you. What do you want someone to take away today from this conversation that maybe again will show up somewhere down the road, either with you guys or maybe in their own community?
Yes, no, I believe in the power of connection. So it's connection. People who want to hear more about us, who want to travel with us when the things are calmer. I would love to take multiple guests back over there, and just wanting to learn about what specific special project we would need capital to raise for, because there's always work to do and to improve on. So really power of connection and just talking more about it. And yeah, I'm so grateful for this conversation, Peter. That means a lot to me on this special day. And then we'll have to do that again in 15 years.
Yeah, well, Valéry's already put it out there. We're going to talk to each other again, apparently in 15 years. I would be remiss, because this is the kind of conversations that we can have, all day long. Like I said, I really do hope that there's a time when things kind of permit us to return to that part of the world. I so miss Rwanda. I haven't been back there since 2009 for me. And so that's a very, very long time. And I actually have some unresolved things that I want to do in connected with my first trip to Rwanda. So there is a reason to go back to that part of the world for me. And now I have another one, and now I'm very, very happy with that. If anything, just to sit in the audience and watch Valéry play piano. I mean, if anything, we'll do that. But I would be remiss if I didn't ask both of you two more things very quickly. So I promise you, I'm going to let you go for your birthday. I promise you. I want to know what keeps you hopeful and optimistic right now. Aude, what keeps you hopeful and optimistic?
The next generation, I think. Critical thinking and really wanting to be open-minded about the world. So I'm hopeful about that. And I see it in my own daughters. One is a teacher, one is a police officer in service to others. I mean, it's the whole family. So I see a lot of hope. The children of Congo, their ideas and their talent. So that's really important to me.
I love it. Valéry, I'm going to leave that with you as well. What keeps you hopeful and optimistic these days?
I would say my team around me. All the time when I feel like this is really hard. So they are around me and say, yeah, we did something similar 2 years ago. We can overcome this one as well. So that's presence of my team around me, supporting what we are doing, supporting the vision, spending nights and days trying to make sure that we can move forward with our commitments, the community. That's really kept me hopeful. And I think it's an exchange of hope, right? So the more they keep me hopeful, the more I keep them hopeful. And I will not skip my kids. My boys are really, really, really amazing. I have 3 boys. And what also keeps me hopeful is like I want them to see what I was able to accomplish. So like when I will be old, they will say, this is where our dad was spending his life. And they can see Asili still running 100 years after today. So I want them to see that. I want Congolese people to see that. I want my team to see that. So that I'm staying awake until I can see that.
Oh, wow. I don't know. I don't know what to say to that other than I love that answer. I love that answer. Thank you for sharing that. I appreciate this. Finish this sentence for me, Valéry. Finish this sentence for me. I love my life because...
I love my life because I see human around me.
That's beautiful. I love that. I'm going to you with this one, Aude. I love my life because
I am surrounded by the best people.
I mean, you both are. You sure are. You sure are. Well, I can't thank you both enough. I don't know what to say. It's just unbelievable to know you guys and to see what you've done with your organization and how you present it to the world. And there's so much, again, dignity and grace and humanity in there that just resonates with me a lot. So that's why it was important for me to just do the little tiny piece here that what we're doing now, which is to try to use technology to connect people around the world. And I hope, as you said, Aude, connection is everything. So I hope more people on LinkedIn will tune in, or maybe people on other platforms will go out to reach out to you guys and connect, figure out. Always looking for new business partners. If you're in the LinkedIn community and you're a business partner, you're an organization, a company, maybe you have some CSR dollars that you're dying to, hey, listen, we have some people here that would love to chat with you to go from 69 water points to, I think Valéry has a rounded number of about 10,000 or 100,000. So I think there's still a few things that we could do. I want to thank everybody that's in the comments. I mean, everyone, there's so many great comments. So please, Valéry, not tonight, because I want you to get some sleep, but tomorrow, go back into the show, look through the comments, and please, I hope more people will reach out and connect. Follow your pages. Go out to the website and learn more about Asili. And Aude, it's your birthday. And I was thinking to myself, I could put up like a birthday card. I was thinking, like, what could I do? I do. It's so hard because we're far away and we're not close, and I can't have you to my house, and I'm not an accomplished piano player like this guy. I'm not. But you know what I can do? And I don't do this. I've done this once, I think, before. Have I done it once before? I might have done it once before. I mean, I've done other live shows before, but I just don't combine these things on the show. We're just talking, right? Stuff like that. But you know what I'm going to do? I think Valéry will help me. He's going to open up his thing. You know what we're going to do? We're going to sing you happy birthday. That's what we're going to do. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, hero. Happy birthday to you. There you go.
Oh, thank you. That's wonderful. Thank you.
That is the only thing that I know how to do for free.
Oh, I love it. I love it. No, thank you for all the support, the love through the years. Thank you so much. Cheers to many years to come together with our friendship and to building a maternity, to building water points. We're going to get through everything this year.
I agree. Valéry, it's such a pleasure to meet you, my friend, and have this conversation. I hope we do it again, and I'm wishing you great success and health and wellness for you and your family and all those things. And keep playing, my friend. Keep playing the piano.
Absolutely. Yeah. Maybe we'll do a live one day.
We will. I inspired him. I got him inspired. Thank you, everybody who tuned in today. We so appreciate it. And Valéry and Aude, please stick around after, like even when the show kind of ends out here. I'll chat with you for a couple seconds before you get going. I wanted to show you about that ball. Remember that?
Please.
And I had it here and I dropped it. Hold on. And I wanted to share this story, but I'm going to play the video here at the end. I always play videos at the end, Valéry. So I'm going to play a little video at the end here and show you what this ball means to me. But I still have it here. It's always within arm's reach of me, generally speaking, when I'm talking with people, because it's just so there's so much humility in it and grace in it, and a beautiful little soul gave this to me while I was in Rwanda. And this was his soccer ball. And he wanted to trade with me. And I had no expectations at all. But I'll explain it in the video here. You'll see in a second. So I just want to show you that it's real. And I still have it here. And as you can hear it still makes me emotional thinking about it. And so that's what I hope more people will get an opportunity to do in their lifetime, which is do what we're doing now. Connect yourself to your own community, but connect around the world. People are so similar to you and they have the same goals and dreams in you. And it's so wonderful when you feel that, And I want to thank everybody, all your comments. Thank you so much, everyone in the comments. Thanks for being here, everybody. And we super appreciate it. You know how this thing ends, everybody. Just be kind out there. That's all you got to do. Just be kind, everybody. Just be kind out there. That's all you got to do. We'll see you on the other side. Valéry and Aude and everybody else, thanks so much. We'll see you again. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We'll see you.
So I found a new friend, and we traded a pen for this soccer ball. And I thought it was really nice because I just gave him the pen because he'd been helping me throughout the day to learn Kinyarwanda. And he's a very smart boy, knows English very well, very good English, yes. So I gave him a pen, which they love pens, and 10-15 minutes later he came back and gave me a ball for the trade. So I just thought that was really, really cool because I didn't ask for it. So Umupira. Yeah, Peter. Yeah, so he gave me that, so I'm really, really happy about that, and I'll be bringing this back to Canada. And yeah, I thought it was awesome. He's a really, really, really clever kid. He's going to be an English teacher. Professor. Yeah. That's it. Thank you. Thank you.
Just be kind out there. That's all you have to do. Just be kind out there. That's all you have to do. Just be kind out there, everybody. I mean, just be kind. That's all you have to do. Just be kind out there, everybody. Hey, just be kind. You know the drill. Yeah, just be kind out there, everybody. Just be kind. Just be kind out there, everybody. That's all you have to do, right?
Exactly.
Just be kind out there, everybody.